Welcome to the CMO Spotlight, and I'm here with Christi Mason, who's the Chief Marketing Officer of the Slutty Vegan.
Touch a little bit of everything. In my career, I've had the chance to do a lot of different stuff and work in a lot of different categories and a lot of different products and, products at different life stages, whether it's new or a product that's kind of maturing in its category or, a product that is regional in nature. I've had roles that have been very quantitatively focused, and certainly like when you start off in marketing, particularly in CPG marketing, you do a lot of quantitative work where you're looking at, volume numbers, placement, and you're thinking through shopper marketing, your trade spend, you spend a lot of time in numbers. It's beneficial to have kind of this sense of understanding, how the math works, understanding, not only kind of that top line growth, but being able to follow those dollars to the P&L and think through the decisions that you make. It's been beneficial to me to be able to work in the space of advertising and digital and social, like the brand aspect of brand management, and being able to understand kind of the fundamentals of a brand architecture and think through how does that impact, decisions we make on what products we launch or products that we don't launch. And so, from my perspective, I think probably the thing that's most beneficial is being able to have those different, types of marketing roles, to have those types of different brands, because ultimately it gives you the tool set, to be able to work at increasingly higher levels within the organization, because you understand what's necessary to build a brand for long-term success. Look for the opportunities that give you, like a new, perspective on how you go about marketing that challenge your assumptions. Look for those things and be clear on building out your skill set so that you can call upon those experiences down the road. Making really complex things simple. And I think like anything, like a challenge is really just breaking down the pieces and understanding, what variables can be moved around and starting to play with those variables, so that you get to a solution. So, for me, I think it's very much like making very complex things simple and making them approachable. And then I say probably from just a personality perspective, I'm a person who questions things a lot. Being able to genuinely have an interest in other people's perspectives and points of view, and being able to use that both from the perspective of building relationships, but also, again, to kind of break down challenges and questions has been kind of fruitful for me. Intellectual curiosity is really, really important to me. I like to be challenged. I like for people to share, a different perspective or question the things that, that I may hold. I heard this quote once at one point that was like, hold your opinions and hold your, your thoughts and beliefs, but, hold them lightly, right? So it is good to have a perspective. A perspective is pretty much the job from a marketing, point of view. So have those, but be willing to kind of evolve your way of thinking about things, evolve your point of view and your perspective, based on the information at hand. So that is important to me. I'd say, another thing that's important to me is integrity, right? Life and decision making, all of those things can be challenging at times, but it's important for you to be able to both stand on, kind of what you've aligned to do, but also, admit it and say when things don't go well also, because, invariably those are lessons learned, and you can't have that learning if you're not willing to kind of look at results and honestly assess where you stand with things. A few months ago, we did kind of the Slutty Vegan brand wedding. It was the first wedding that we'd ever done as a brand. We did it in celebration of this really cool couple that we found and kind of fell in love with. And we did it on Valentine's Day. It's when everything kind of unfolded and fans are able to follow along with their story. And what I love about it is the fact that it is very much around kind of the spirit of this brand to do things that, that really resonate with consumers, to find someone, a couple who had a really great and rich, story and create something special for them. And, in no way did we try to use that without anything other than the best intentions in terms of being able to deliver that moment. Everything had kind of a bit of a Slutty Vegan flair associated with it. All of those little brand touches along the way that made it, brand curated, but it was still very much around this couple and the celebration of love, which is in fact, the whole reason for the Valentine's holiday. So a really great example of how a brand can be a part of a moment, a part of an occasion, and do so in a way that feels authentic and furthers kind of the brand kind of love that exists. I read this quote from Albert Einstein. It says, imagination is more important than intelligence and or knowledge, right? And like there's this sense of, always like being the most, prolific in terms of the facts, or kind of this never ending kind of sense of wanting to know everything that there is to know, right? But at the end of the day, right, like some things are knowable, but to a large extent, like a lot of life and a lot of success is like, being imaginative, being deeply imaginative, and thinking about how can you use what you know, but not rely so heavily on the data that you become, paralyzed, that you're able to think creatively about, either solutions or products or just random things that are going to, bring a smile to someone's face. And so like this idea that imagination is powerful and that you can play in that space and be able to do something super, super amazing.